Accessories, accessories, accessories. Did you just buy a brand new Steam Deck when it was on sale? Congratulations! Welcome to the Steam Deck family. This video is dedicated to you, the worthy gamer that gave the Steam Deck a chance. The Steam Deck itself is already a great purchase, and honestly that's all you really need to get started. But there's a myriad of different accessories you can get for your Steam Deck. Some that'll greatly enhance your experience, and some that'll just make your life a little easier. You probably don't need some egg-headed YouTuber to tell you what accessories you should get for your Steam Deck. But of course, as the resident accessory guy of the Steam Pals, here are 10 different accessories and accessory types you should get for your Steam Deck. Before we can talk about 10 different accessories for your Steam Deck, we have to talk about what Valve gives you in the box. The first thing Valve gives you is a 45-watt charger for your Steam Deck. Obviously, its main purpose is to charge the Steam Deck. I mean, it's an okay charger, it works with the Steam Deck, and it comes in the box, unlike certain other products that you may buy in the year 2023. Like, yeah, I think the charger is a bit bulky and it's a bit too short, but honestly, you can't really complain, it came with the Steam Deck. The other thing Valve includes in the box is a Steam Deck case. This is a case that Valve just gives to all Steam Deck owners for free. And for the low price of free, this is quite literally an amazing case. This case could easily be sold separately for like $30, and I think I would still buy it. It'll protect your Steam Deck fairly well. The only real complaint I have is that there's just not a whole lot of room for accessories. And for some people, that's just fine. But for me, I like to bring more accessories. But honestly, the bag is high quality. I would definitely keep it, even if you're not going to use it anymore. So without further ado, let's begin then. The first accessory you should get is a micro SD card. Believe it or not, you can technically use a Steam Deck without a micro SD card, but that's kind of like using a mobile phone without a SIM card. Just why? It's practically required for anyone buying a 64GB model, and it's still highly recommended for any other persons using a Steam Deck. Heck, I have a 2TB SSD in my Steam Deck, and I still use an SD card. You don't really need an explanation on why you should get an SD card. It's more space for your Steam Deck to store games on. What more do you need? As for what SD card to buy, these are the three I recommend. They're all extremely well performers, and honestly, if I had to choose between one of these three products, I would choose whatever one's on sale. The next accessory you should consider is a screen protector. It protects your screen. Who would have thunk it, huh? Some say a screen protector on your Steam Deck just isn't necessary, and while this may be true, I do like the added protection of having a screen protector on my Steam Deck to begin with. I'm currently using D-brand screen protector. It fits perfectly. I suppose there is one major con to having a screen protector. If you've got a 512GB unit, you have anti-glare on the screen by default. Putting a typical screen protector on top of that seems to cancel out the effect. But what about putting an anti-glare screen protector over top of an anti-glare Steam Deck? I really would love to test that out, but I don't have a 512GB model, never did. The next accessory you should be considering is a dock. The humble Steam Deck dock is totally optional. If you're just gonna play the Steam Deck portably, then there's no real need for a dock. But let's say you want to plug it into a TV, or perhaps plug it in and use it as a desktop, or maybe you want to record some high quality gameplay, then you should definitely get a dock. There are multiple different types of docks, though in my opinion the two that you should really aim for are either Valve's official Steam Deck dock or JSOCK's M.2 dock. As the name implies, that M.2 dock has an M.2 slot for your SSDs, allowing you to use an SSD as an external drive. They're pricier options, but I do think they're worth it. Docks also give you multiple USB devices, allowing you to plug in a plethora of other accessories into the Steam Deck. On that front though, if you're gonna dock, definitely pick yourself up a controller. Or heck, maybe you already have a controller at home. The Steam Deck supports most modern game controllers. You can use Xbox controllers, PS4 controllers, PS5 controllers, Nintendo Switch Pro controllers, Joy-Cons. Heck, if you're fortunate enough to own a Steam controller still, then you can use that as well. If you've got a controller of some sort, you can already use that controller with the Steam Deck. You will need to look for instructions on how to put your controller in Bluetooth pairing mode though. I've also heard that Google Stadia and Amazon Luna controllers work on Steam Deck, though I don't have either of those and I'm not willing to buy any of them. And it's not just official controllers, you can also use third-party controllers, like the 8BitDo controller, or the GuiltyKit controller. or fight sticks, or anything really. As long as it can be used with a PC and it's read out as a controller, it should work. If you've got any unusual controllers, you should definitely try them out with your Steam Deck. I've seen people use flight simulator controllers with the Steam Deck. I've seen people use steering wheels. The only controller I haven't seen anyone use that I would really love to see is someone using a Steel Battalion controller on their Steam Deck. If someone has a Steel Battalion controller, I would love to test it out on the Steam Deck. The next accessory type you should get are some good earbuds or IEMs. Preferably wired though, because the Steam Deck does feature a 3.5mm headphone jack. The Steam Deck's audio is quite robust, which is quite surprising coming out of a handheld device. Now, I'm not saying you should plug in your DAC and then plug in your $1,000 headphones into your Steam Deck. What I am saying is that you should get a decent pair of IEMs to take with you. Are you riding a bus, a train, an airplane? You want to fully immerse yourself in a game without distracting others with your extremely loud game sounds? Get yourself some earbuds. My preferred IEM of choice is the Echo Asgard OH5, but for a more budget-friendly option, definitely pick up some Moondrop Arias. But you may be asking, why wired instead of wireless? Why not a Bluetooth earbud? Why not something like some AirPods or my Sony WF-1000XM3s? And you know the answer to this already, latency. I do know there are codecs in Linux that minimize latency substantially, but you can only really select these in desktop mode, and selecting them in game mode is not user-friendly, so I don't recommend it. Plus, you know, it's Bluetooth. It's wired versus wireless. If I had to choose between wired and wireless, I'd choose wired. The next accessory you should consider is an alternative charger. I'm gonna make a confession, I used to have a ton of random USB blocks, but then I replaced them with various different gallium nitrate chargers of various sizes. Many of these gallium nitrate chargers have multiple different ports, allowing you to charge multiple different devices at the same time. They also tend to be smaller as well. And if you really have a lot to power, or perhaps you have some power-hungry accessories, you can go up. You can get chargers that can charge like MacBooks and stuff. This is more of a recommendation for those of you that have multiple different gadgets. All of these devices that need to be charged, but you only have so much wall space. Not to mention, you don't have to take so many chargers with you. You can take this one charger with one cable that accompanies it, and you can charge your laptop, your Steam Deck, your phone, external batteries, your headset. You can charge whatever the heck you want. And it makes things relatively clutter-free. This is more of a general recommendation than a recommendation for Steam Deck accessories. But like taking this instead of your Steam Deck charger, and your phone charger, and your laptop charger, it just makes life a lot simpler, and you can pack less stuff as well. The next accessory you should consider is getting an external battery. External batteries are extremely useful, not just for your Steam Deck, but for any electronic you may carry with you. Be it a Steam Deck, Nintendo Switch, your laptop, your phone, whatever uses USB to charge. If you've got the space for a battery, bring one. There's no reason not to. Remember to charge up your battery before you board the airplane. Do keep in mind that there's a legal limit on how big your battery capacity can be. If you get a battery that has too much capacity, you probably won't be able to board an airplane with it. The next accessory you should consider is an external drive. I recommend these for one reason and one reason only. It simplifies the process of transferring files to and from your computer to your Steam Deck, whether it be entire games or mod files or whatever. I know for a fact that some guy in the comments is gonna mention how Warpinator is just better, you should use FTP or whatever, and you should just use wireless transfer protocols. On one hand, I get where he's coming from, but on the other hand, I'm sure he realizes that that stuff is hard to set up for most normal people. You know what isn't difficult though? Plugging in a flash drive to your computer, putting some files on said computer, or installing some Steam games onto that flash drive, unplugging it and plugging it into a Steam Deck, and then transferring everything. I would say that's pretty easy. Just about anyone can do that, especially if their router isn't really up to snuff. You could also plug in your external drive to your Steam Deck and then play games off of it. Here's an accessory that isn't strictly necessary, but is nice to have. That being a Bluetooth keyboard. Yes, you can use keyboards to play games, but I'm more so referring to the fact that a lot of Steam Deck tutorials require you typing stuff out. This will really help you out in that regard. They also make some really nice foldable keyboards that are really portable that you can just take with you wherever you go, just in case you need a keyboard for the occasion. Now, before we get to the final accessory, let's talk about some honorable mentions. Steam Deck skins are nice. They can add some real personality to your Steam Deck. There's a ton of skins from a ton of different companies. Of course, dbrand is also included as well. The next honorable mention are Steam Deck hard shells. Some people like them, some people don't. They add protection, but they also add bulk. If you have children, you should probably get one of these. Multiple different companies make these hard shells, but I think the two that really stick out the most are the kill switch and the mod case. The last honorable mention is a capture card. Do you want to record good quality gameplay footage without having any sort of performance issues whatsoever? Get yourself a capture card. There's a ton of capture cards out there that just work with the Steam Deck. Some even work on Linux. The capture card I use are some Narvitech capture cards. These are some decent quality capture cards, and they're not too expensive either. The one I use day to day is this one right here. You just plug it into your computer, and then you plug in your console or whatever into the HDMI port, and that's it. They also have a special edition no beta one, based on the game Little Witch No Beta. But that one's been selling like hotcakes. I can't even buy a second one for myself. Finally, we're at the last Steam Deck accessory you should pick up, an alternative Steam Deck case or Steam Deck bag. The Steam Deck does come with its own case, and it's a very good case. But personally, I would rather have a bigger case with more room for accessories. There are a ton of these Steam Deck cases and bags available for you to buy. And I'm not talking like generic backpacks that you can put basically anything into. I'm talking about specifically made for the Steam Deck bags. The one I'm personally rocking is the TomTalk Steam Deck carrying bag. It's not too big, and it carries a decent amount of accessories. Not to mention, it can be worn as its own bag. It's not something you have to put inside like a book bag or anything. It's also not too big as well. I can put in the Steam Deck, a battery, some earbuds, a different charger, multiple SD cards. I could even put in a dock and a capture card in there as well. If you need even more accessories, it might be time to invest in a backpack instead. But I personally think the TomTalk bag is a nice sweet spot. Yes, I am known as the accessory guy, and for good reason. I make a ton of these accessory videos. I show off a lot of really crazy and really unique accessories. But at the end of the day, there are only a few that I would consider to be truly essential. Everything else is merely for fun. If you liked this video, you should give it a thumbs up and spread the good gospel of high-tech lowlife. And if you want to see more high-tech lowlife, be sure to enable notifications and press the subscribe button. Furthermore, we have a community Discord server for enlightened individuals such as you. And in case you wanted to directly support high-tech lowlife, you can join our Patreon page.